How to Succeed with Founder-Led Sales. This is a thread that I've been waiting to read for a while. I haven't read it, and my first time reading it is going to be on this podcast. It is from Sam Blond, who I've mentioned before. He is a legendary marketer, did some of Brex's best marketing stunts. He is so smart. Actually, now he's a partner in, I think, Founders Fund. Talented, successful, just great marketer, and he shares a lot of deep insights, and this thread is going to be one of them. So if you like startup marketing and guerrilla marketing and just generally smart marketing, this is an episode for you. I haven't read it. This is going to be my first time reading it. I'm going to get started. So again, this is from Sam Blond. You can find him on Twitter, Sam D. Blond, and he says, How to Succeed with Founder-Led Sales. Last week, Gary Tan is the president and CEO of Y Combinator. Y Combinator is the most successful and top startup accelerator in the world. It's responsible for Airbnb and Reddit and Dropbox and, oh gosh, so many others. So many others. So anyway, last week, Gary Tan was nice enough to invite me to his home to speak with the current Y Combinator batch. The most common topic was founders figuring out how to close the first set of customers in time for demo day. So Y Combinator is 3 months, and then at the end of the 3 months is demo day. You get a small amount of investment from Y Combinator, and then at the end of Y Combinator, there's demo day, and you pitch to some of the top investors in the world. They show up for demo day, and it's a big deal. At the end of the Y Combinator batch, at the end of your cohort, you pitch to these top investors for demo day. So Sam Blond continues. He says, depending on the specific situation, my advice was flavors of the concepts I describe below. First, if you're an early stage founder doing your best to close your first customers, find comfort. This is the way almost every successful tech company starts acquiring customers. There is no one in the world better than you at selling the vision of your product and company. Sales is hard. Keep going. Hopefully the below is helpful. Number 1, qualify the buyer's level of interest. At the end of the first call/demo, after you've described the problem you're solving and shown your solution to the problem, ask the prospect something like, how high of a priority is this for you? Or, how impactful would this be for you? Focus your efforts on those that answer high priority. You're likely wasting time on the others. If you're consistently hearing this is a low priority or low impact, it's a signal you haven't found product market fit and should adapt your offering. Number 2, always close for the next step. Whenever you get done with a meeting, do your best to have your next meeting on the calendar and specific action items that will happen between now and that next meeting. That is great advice. Avoid things like, I'll follow up with some information and we can go from there, or let's talk in a week or two after you've had time to discuss this internally. In my experience, those deals often go nowhere. If you're not closing the deal, at least close for the next step. Number 3, be prescriptive on how to buy your product. Many founders express concern around things like when and how to ask for money, introductions to decision makers, etc. Take the initiative and educate your buyer on how they should buy your product. Create a document that outlines the happy path for how a customer should onboard and buy. Share it with the buyer. Customize it for their specific buying process. Frame it as, this is how we've seen others successfully deploy. Company name. For example, step 1, product demo and qualification. Step 2, demo with all stakeholders. Step 3, 2-week free trial. Outline what happens during the trial. Step 4, if we deliver on our promise during the trial, move forward with a pilot program at 50% discount to list price. By outlining these steps, you've solved for the concerns highlighted above. Also, you can adjust depending on the situation. If you're already talking to the decision maker, you can skip step 2. Step 2, by the way, was always closed for the next step. So that's what he said. If you're talking to the decision maker, you can skip that step. Now we're on step 4. This is a fun one. Lots of top startups are great at this. Okay, step 4, create FOMO. We're accepting 10 companies in this pilot program. 6 of the 10 spots are filled. We expect the other 4 to fill quickly. You'd be perfect for the program based on our conversations. Please let us know your level of interest so we're able to plan accordingly. That one's so funny. Number 5, optimize. By the way, that's what AirChat is doing right now. AirChat is invite only, and it's Naval's baby. It's Naval Ravikant's his famous investor and founder, and he created this startup called AirChat, and it's invite only. You need to have an invite to join, And then once you join, you get invites that you can send to people, and it's created a lot of FOMO and hype around it. So that's perfect for create FOMO. Number 5, that's more marketing. This is for sales. Sam Blond is saying use that line for actual sales. Number 5, optimize for active paying customers, not price perfection. For your first set of customers, it's more important that you are charging than what you're charging. Oh, that's interesting. Come up with what you believe is a reasonable long-term price for your solution. So he's saying you just want people to pay, and then you can move from there. Discount to where you need to in order to win for your first several customers. You can even ask, what would something like this be worth to your business, to get an idea of a price point that will win the deal. Number 6, when possible, meet your prospective customers in person. Even if it's not scalable, you'll greatly increase the likelihood the deal closes by building a relationship with the buyer. That's great advice. And then the final message in this thread, before we get to the comments, is many of the Y Combinator founders I was talking to were selling to other tech companies in San Francisco. Default to meeting those people in their office or a coffee shop if you can. So the first question is from this guy, Mike Fuke, and he says, of course, it varies by industry, skill set, degree of product market fit, etc. But what would you say is a feasible top of funnel first conversation to close conversation rate at this founder-led sales stage, order of magnitude of 1% or 10%? Sam Blond said, it's hard to answer because it varies so much company to company. The long-term answer is measure it and improve it over time. My advice would be to not solve for this. Focus on getting your first yes, then your second, and so on. That's so spot on. Another question, how do you generate potential leads? That's a great question. Is it better to go for clients already using a software and present them with a better solution, or go for a more untapped market? That question was from Louis, and Sam Blond says, ideally leverage your network, investors, former colleagues, friends for your first set of leads. If your product is far superior than the incumbent, then companies already on that product are fine to sell to. If at parity with a competitor, it's likely better to find greenfield opportunities. Makes a lot of sense. Here's another question. This one is from Christopher LaFerla, and he says, for products that are replacing incumbent solutions, it can take well over a year or two of building to ship a version that users would say is a high priority for them to switch to. Do you think founder sales is even valuable until the founder thinks there's a chance it has product market fit? That's a very good question too. Sam Blond says, I would try to get commitments from design customers, folks that will give you feedback on what you're building, test the product, and ultimately convert to paid customers, but not until the product is ready. That's everything that is worth reading in the comments. This was a great thread from Sam D. Blond. Super glad I read it. There's honestly so many gems here. It's weird that when you have like valuable Twitter threads like this, because many posts are short and designed to look like tweets, to be like short little posts, you can have this super impactful gem that really is just a few sentences, or maybe 2 sentences or 1 sentence, super impactful. And so I think this thread is worth rereading. If you want to find it, you can just search How to Succeed with Founder-Led Sales by Sam Blond. And that is the thread. This is episode 305 of The Edward Show. This is my daily growth marketing, growth hacking, my marketing podcast. Do this thing every day. Super rainy day here in Europe, and beautiful nonetheless. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.